This video is more or less a follow-up on the video I did where I was driving the car explaining how my year went. Thanks for all the comments on that. I know I don't usually like and reply to everything, but I have read everything and I am appreciative of the things everybody said. But some of the comments made it apparent that I've never really explained my direction with the channel or my philosophy toward how things operate on it. So I thought I would take this opportunity to get that out of the way so I can move on to the usual dumb shit that I do. By the way, if you get bored listening to me ramble on, I'm going to include some footage right here of a game I recorded a while ago and just didn't do anything with. First and foremost, the channel is a hobby. The videos I make are part of a hobby. Pretty much everything I do online is a hobby. It's not a job because, well, jobs usually pay you a living wage, which I've never gotten a payout from YouTube, so not counting that. Second thing is, if you're seeing me not do something that other channels do, or do something that other channels don't do, it's usually just a matter of personal preference and not some grand strategy for how I want to run things. By the way, I'm going to address some rather specific points for things that were mentioned to me either in comments or direct messages. Just understand I'm not trying to be inflammatory or talk down to everyone, I'm just trying to explain my position on these kinds of things. There is one thing that I won't debate, which is that I am terrible at self-promotion. You know what? Let's just do self-promotion right now. I stream on Twitch. That's usually where my Fearless and It Came From Gamefly videos come from. It's just me streaming on Twitch. I have a Twitter where I post dumb stuff and announce where I'm on Twitch. I have an Instagram that I almost never use. I have probably accounts on other social sites, but I forgot what they are. The accounts may have been taken over by bots and then banned at some point. I don't know. In fact, I'd argue that the person who's best at promoting me is Zero Master, a friend of mine from RCG. But just to name some specific things that were brought up, hashtags in video titles, I hate those. That's why they're not showing up. I don't care if they help with exposure, I hate hashtags. Default tags for videos. Now, to get a little behind the scenes for this, I manually put in tags for all of my videos because I find that when you do default tags, there's a tendency to get lazy and then the tags don't actually represent the video that they're assigned to. For example, if I have a tag about video games and then I upload a video of me just traveling to an anime convention and there are no video games in it, then I'm a liar. Making more use of YouTube descriptions, which... do people actually read those anymore? Whenever I go to a video, even if I'm on PC where it's most apparent, the description is just this tiny little bar of text and you have to expand it. And then one of my biggest turnoffs is when I open up the description and it's just like a bombardment of links. That just makes me instantly tune out from them. So I usually just don't make use of descriptions aside from maybe putting in like a Patreon link. Sometimes in the Fearless or It Came From Gamefly videos, I'll put in like a link to my Twitch page, but that's pretty much it. There is such a thing as too much information. You know, aside from the usual context of too much information. Which, by the way, is one of my favorite Duran Duran songs. I got suggested for videos to be a minimum of 10 minutes long, which is amusing when you're someone like me who remembers the day when 10 minutes was the maximum length for a YouTube video. But just to be straight and to the point on this, I'm not going to make a video at least 10 minutes long if there's not at least 10 minutes worth of content. I have no interest in padding out videos to make them longer than they need to be. And I'm aware of how that sounds, considering I made a nearly 2-hour-long video on Seiken Densetsu 3, aka Trials of Mana. But that's because I went super in depth with that. If it's a stream highlight video or a brief discussion or a speedrun tale, I'm not going to try and pad it out longer than it needs to be. And then there's the matter of like mimicking somebody else's style, which I've been around long enough that I have been accused multiple times of copying, mimicking, stealing somebody else's style, jokes, subject matters, or what have you. The best incidents for those were when I was accused of stealing from people that I'd never heard of. But here's the thing. When you make something that is like another thing in the hopes of attracting people who enjoy that other thing, people aren't going to be attracted to it because of its similarity. You're more likely to just get called a ripoff and then people stick with that other thing. Game studios have been born and quickly died because of following this kind of mindset. Like, what was it called? Boss Key Studios, the one that Cliff Bleszinski? The Gears of War guy, the one that he founded, where he did, I think it was called Lawbreakers, which was like a hero/arena shooter that people just said, well, I already play Overwatch, so whatever. And then they started working on, I think it was Radical Heights, which was a Fortnite type game, and people just said, I already have Fortnite, and the studio went under. Another example I hear a lot, and this is just from personal experience, people saying that Bloody Roar could be more popular if it played more like Tekken. No, it would not. Because your whole idea is make it play more like Tekken to attract Tekken fans. The problem is, the Tekken fans already have a game that they enjoy playing. It's called Tekken. Not only do you end up not attracting those fans and ending up getting labeled as a ripoff, you also sacrifice your own identity in the process. And that's a really roundabout way of saying that it's my channel, I'm gonna do what I want, how I want. That's been the plan this whole time, that's going to be the plan moving forward, and the key factor in all of this is because it's not a business model, I don't really care like how much growth happens on the channel. If I end up with like 100,000 subscribers, great. If I end up with 100 subscribers, fine. By the way, lately I've been getting messages from Teespring about setting up a store to coincide with my YouTube? The fuck would I put in a Teespring store? Frankly, I thought this would have been apparent from the fact that the banner on my YouTube page says, I only have this design because YouTube forced me to. And I didn't realize until I set up the camera and started talking about this that I had no idea how to end this video. So